What's up, everybody? I'm Brett Maddock here with Curtis Sleme.
Hey.
At the PlayStation Enthusiast Unfinished Studio. Sorry, it's not done. I'm going to get a green screen and cover all that ugliness up, and then in the future it'll look way better. But until then, this is what you get. Today is the Horizon Zero Dawn official Spoilercast that we're doing.
Yes, and so...
As of now, the game comes out in 3 days.
Well, we're recording this right now.
On the 25th.
And we've both played it and platinumed it.
Yeah, we've platinumed Horizon
because we loved it so much that we platinumed it before it came out.
Exactly. It's super awesome. Like, Horizon Zero Dawn is, and dare I say it, because I love Uncharted 4, it's the best PS4 exclusive. Do you like it more than Uncharted 4? I didn't ask you that.
I think so.
I think I do too. Which is crazy.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Because I like both.
Yeah. Uncharted 4, amazing game. Horizon Zero Dawn just hits so many notes and perfectly. It's amazing.
I'm gonna get this out of the way and say this.
Spoiler warning. We are going full spoilers with the story. So if you haven't completed the game, run away. Don't watch this. Don't spoil the game for yourself.
I have some points I need to make.
Okay.
When it comes to Horizon, when Horizon comes up, my favorite part about this game, my personal favorite, is exploring and discovering.
Yes.
This world, both the environment and the machines, it's just so beautiful and majestic, and I've almost cried.
Yeah.
I almost teared up just by walking around and looking.
And looking at what the world is now.
The machines.
It's weird.
The machine. Oh,
it's simultaneously beautiful and sad at the same time. Go ahead.
The machines. I can't think of any other a better word than majestic.
Yeah.
I like the tall necks, the thunder jaws. As they tower, that's a lot of noise, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry about all the noise if you hear. I'm not sure if it's the mic is catching it.
These big machines, as they tower over you,
Come on.
so loud.
Okay, go ahead.
These machines, as they tower over you, you just have to respect them.
Yeah.
And the way that you when they take their steps, you feel them the ground shake.
Especially the long necks.
You hear and feel the ground shake under you.
Yeah.
And you hear them roar and make noises through, it echoes through the valley.
Yeah, I love it.
And
in my review, I actually mentioned that. I say, multiple times I would stop and just stand there and listen to the world around me.
I'm sorry, these kids.
My kids are upstairs. They're running.
They're running around
back and forth.
They weren't making this much noise until we started recording.
I know. I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
I hope the audio is not that bad.
Okay, but yeah, the way their roars and stuff echo through the valley, you hear, I don't know what it is. There's this feeling
of importance, of I don't know. It's I don't know. It's beautiful, really.
Yeah.
And we could go on and on, about everything we love about the game.
And it's so weird. I have this respect for these huge machines. You have to respect them.
Yeah, and it's kind of strange.
But they're not even animals.
And they didn't ask to be there. And for some reason, I kind of feel bad every time I killed one.
Yeah,
especially one that wasn't
It felt as if they were animals, but they're not.
Especially ones that aren't very dangerous, ones that just run away.
Yeah.
The glaziers.
Grazers.
Yeah, graziers.
They're so... The grazers are cute.
Yeah, so we killed them.
They look so fragile, their legs are all flimsy.
They look like deer.
And then if you shoot, their head will pop up and
they're what? And
they'll walk towards you and then you shoot them and then they just run away. I don't know. For some reason you do feel bad.
Yeah,
shooting them.
You feel bad, especially when you're doing the hunting trials.
And the watchers, the little 2-leg ones, and then their little lens moving around and you shoot their eye out.
Yeah.
I don't know. You do feel bad for them. They're machines.
What the watchers? What type of animal is that in real life?
They're called. You remember in Jurassic Park, the guy was fighting the 3 things?
Oh yeah,
they're those things.
I forgot what they're called. They're in Jurassic World.
Yeah, because a lot of these machines resemble dinosaurs.
They're kind of similar to dinosaurs. A lot of prehistoric, like saber-toothed tigers and stuff. But there's some that are like, isn't there some that aren't? They're just like normal animals.
Yeah, like a grazer, a deer.
Oh yeah, deer. Okay, we just went over that. Anyway, let's get to the story.
No, I gotta continue.
All right, keep going.
I gotta continue.
We got time.
This, I'm trying to explain the feeling.
Yeah.
When you come across this machine, because it's nothing that you'll experience in real life.
Especially the long neck.
Unless, imagine like a huge thunderjaw comes down your street in real life.
That'd be insane.
That's the kind of feeling that I feel when I play the game. Like, it's nothing that you can compare it to in real life.
Yeah.
Because it's just so mesmerizing.
Yeah, it's insane.
All right, and then the next thing I think about when I think about Horizon is...
That was a long pause.
You can either cricket that.
I don't know.
Okay. When I think about Horizon, the next thing I think about is how before I played it, I was completely like
not into it.
I
was so mad because I kept saying, "Dude, I'm getting the Horizon review code most likely,"
and we were gonna review it.
And he's like, "I don't really know if I want to play it. I don't like the dinosaur like robot stuff." And then I got it. And he tried it. And he beat it. Oh, you didn't beat it Friday, but you played a lot more.
I wasn't interested in machines, and I think the biggest reason why because it made no sense to me.
Because they were dressed like they were in like Viking times or whatever, and then there was the futuristic robots.
Yeah, I was like watching the trailers. I'm like, it'd be cooler if they were just real, like if this was real, like
just dinosaurs.
Jurassic times, like, and there was real dinosaurs.
Which it would be cool.
It would be a cool game, and I was thinking, this is kind of like dumb, like because you're not fighting real animals, like you're just fighting machines, like who, like
yeah.
It just didn't make sense to me. But after I played it and understood the story,
which we can go fully into,
yeah,
this is a spoiler cast.
After I fully understood the story, I was blown away at how good this game is.
Yeah,
like, and the story makes sense,
and it's a personal story with Aloy, like a personal like hardship that she has to deal with, like finding her mother, blah blah blah. On top of, I have to save the world.
So yeah, there's two aspects. So there's the
human aspect and the I gotta save the world aspect. Which
well, I was gonna say there's like it's kind of like two stories. You got Aloy's
small scale and a large scale.
Yeah, Aloy's personal story.
Yeah.
Like her want to find a mother and grew up as an outcast, which is another like amazing part of the story.
We're gonna talk about that. I love it.
And then there's the whole, like the world.
They're about to
is taken over by these machines. Like technology advanced so far that it got out of control.
And it was Gaia that was it? No, it wasn't Gaia. What was the main bad like program?
They had a bunch of different names because there's like a few different programs in each one.
Yeah, was it Selene? I don't remember. Anyway, I like that it's at the same time. Like I always complained how like Resident Evil 6. This is random. Like Resident Evil 6 was about saving the world, and I didn't really like that. And Resident Evil 4 is just about saving the president's daughter. It's more like a small scale story.
Yeah.
But this gives you both. It gives you I gotta save the world from getting this like corrupted like monsters take over and everyone dies. And I'm sad because I can't find my mom.
Yeah, so you got the small and big in one game.
Yeah, and I kind of want to jump straight to the ending, and we can go back. But I really liked that she went like after the credit scene where she found what was her name? Elizabeth.
Yeah, Elizabeth.
She found her suit.
Yeah, and her files.
Yeah, and listened to it and explained to the robot lady she was talking to what she wanted her daughter to be like, and it was exactly Aloy.
Yeah.
And that hit me so hard. I was like, that is so awesome. Because I'm glad Aloy finally got to hear that, because she was Aloy's kind of daughter. Like,
well, here's the thing. It was so what do you call it? Gaia?
Yeah.
This girl? Gaia knew her DNA.
Yeah.
And knew how to recreate life.
Yeah.
And so Gaia wanted to recreate life and create a human with her DNA so that she could access these bunkers and access the...
She basically knew
She wanted her to stop this other part.
Yeah,
from destroying the world.
She basically had to build another Elizabeth to save the world, and it's Aloy.
Yeah. So basically, she saved herself. Like she's the hero, not Aloy.
Yeah,
because she created Aloy.
I could be wrong, but is Aloy an exact replica?
It was 98% like comparison.
Okay.
Remember?
What is that loud noise?
That's the shower. Now there were so many different aspects.
Yeah. You just said that so excited.
There were so many different aspects of of this Gaia.
Yeah.
I don't know if Gaia's like one of the little sub things. Or...
I always forget. There was a lot of stuff going on.
So if I get some of these like names wrong, you can please correct me. But like, as the story goes, like, it's crazy that there was these machines were called peacekeepers.
Yeah. And
as you look, they were created to preserve and create life on Earth. Like, because, I said bees. Like, the animals like, help our ecosystem by, with symbiotic relationships, like, they will eat the grass, and then they'll also, like, poop out the grass, and, so, like, for soil, so it can grow, like, so, like, life...
That's how it works.
So animals have these life cycles, like, and they help each other out. Like, they help other life forms out. Yeah. And so these peacekeepers were created to help life revive itself on Earth. Yeah. But they also had a different function to kill kill life. Yeah. If something goes wrong and start over. Mm-hmm. And that's what almost happened in the game.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like. They were like originally built for good, and then they ended up like completely screwing over everyone. Yeah, and that's just that sounds like something that would happen in real life.
It could, because like technology is getting so advanced.
Yeah, in the distant future, we'll be long dead, but I could totally picture something like that happening.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so interesting is that you look like when I first watched the trailers, I'm like, this is dumb. Yeah, but if you actually like understand the story, it's realistic. Yeah, it's something that could actually happen.
And a lot of it is really weird because, like, people get hung up on the way they look, but the way they're dressed and stuff, a lot of it is just, like, they don't know what style is. Like, time has gone forward, like, so much. Like, they don't know that you're supposed to wear shirts like this.
They're back in the tribal state. Yeah. And they've had different... And it's also kind of cool that, like, they're all diverse because...
And there's a bunch of different religions. Yeah. And they wear clothes based on their religions, too.
Yeah, and so they think Aloy came from the mountain. They was born, and they call the mountain Mother, and that's their god.
That's their god. And there's a whole other aspect of the game where it's like, everyone knows those people are like crazy. Like they're not. Yeah. Like they think Aloy is like a special god or of something, but
some of them think it was a gift from Mother. Yeah. And then some of them think it was a curse. Yeah. And that's why she was outcast because she didn't have a mom.
Yeah, and I love that part. Now let's talk about the origin of her, which I feel like was a big surprise. Like, I didn't expect any of the child stuff. I saw a kid in one of the trailers. I didn't even know it was Aloy. But I loved all of it. I loved that she was an outcast. I love that Rost like raised her, and it wasn't even a dad. She doesn't have a dad or a mom. Yeah. And like you like do the little interaction with the other kids, and you watch her like get taken away from.
So she like this, I know we're jumping around a lot, but that's what made it so emotional right at the beginning, and what pulled me is that she was an outcast.
They called her
outcast. She was bullied, and she finally just like she couldn't take it anymore, and she was like, "Ross, where is my mother? Like, who is my mother?" And she had such like a determination in her face
that she trained for the games.
She wanted to know who her mother was, and it made the training like the whole
training sequence was awesome.
Like I was like, wow, this is like amazing.
It shows her like climbing and then falling and then like climb up further.
And then you called me. It was like, how good is this game? It was like at the beginning.
Yeah, like the opening was awesome. Yeah. That is where I think like the cinematography I mentioned in my review. It's shot like a movie. Like I love it. I love the opening. And how like she jumps off the tree and she rolls and it turns into her as an adult. God, that's awesome. I actually showed it in the review. It made me mad.
Yeah. And that's something that I hope people discover when they play it like on their own. I hope you discovered it when you played on your own.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked that she was the outcast. But one thing, this is like kind of a negative. I talked to you about it a little bit.
And I think I'm going to disagree.
She was raised an outcast, and she doesn't know people. She only knows Rost her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she's finally able to talk to other people, she's like late 20s probably, right?
Yeah.
And she's finally talking to other people. She's talking too casually, like she's been doing it her whole life, and she hadn't. The way she responds and acts to certain people, I don't feel like she should be acting that way, and that kind of turned me off a little bit. But that's just one small thing. And I have one other thing that's related to that. This is kind of a good thing. Her determination to find her mother, she cared more about that than saving the world.
Yeah, that's true.
When she was talking to Celine, his name,
yeah,
he was like, "There are bigger things at stake here. You understand that, right?" And he's
Silent.
Yeah, Silent. Sorry,
Silence.
Silent. He was like, "There's bigger things at stake. Why do you still care about that?" And it's like he doesn't realize that's all she wanted. She didn't ask to do all that. She just wanted to know who her mom was. And little did she know
that determination stuck with her the whole game.
Yeah, and I kind of liked that. It made her more human, and that's what I was saying in my review. I don't understand why she would care about that more than this, but she does, and that's cool, and that's fine.
I think that her being an outcast stuck with her all her life, and you don't see evidence in that. But
not a lot.
I feel like she brought it up a lot in like when it wasn't even like the story wasn't even about that, but she still brought it up. I think because she was an outcast, that's why she was so social, and that's why she was so good. Because all she's known is being treated poorly, and she wanted to be that. She wanted to make a difference in the world and be that change. Like she wanted to be like the better person and show other people like what good is.
Yeah, that's one.
Because she was an outcast.
Yeah, and she did always prove people wrong by like not being the outcast that they always claimed that she was. And I liked, but one thing that I thought was kind of weird was that kid picked on her when she was a little girl. And then he was picking on her even more, like 10 years later or so.
Yeah.
Like, she was probably 8 at the beginning, or like 7. She's like 27 now. 20 years later, he's still making fun of her like a little kid. And then like when they started fighting those people that showed up to that, they were like all of a sudden like fine. Like she was sad he died and stuff. I was like, that's a little weird. You know what I mean? Okay.
Aloy, the reason I know I was going to say this, the reason I feel like it's her being outcast stuck with her whole life is because when the Nora, which is the tribe she's from, they rejected her all the time. And when the mountain talked to her, which was just the technology, they all started praising her.
And I love that scene. Oh my god.
And they all started praising her, and she was like, "You guys," she's like, "Everyone get up." She didn't want praise. She's like,
she started pulling everyone out. She's like, "Get up.
You guys have rejected me my whole life." And then she said, she's like added to it. She was like, "There are other people out there that like you reject that are good people, some better than you."
Yeah.
And she said, I'm not doing this for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing it for everyone.
Yeah. And they're so caught up on their religion, which, in my opinion, was a dumb religion to begin with. They're so caught up on it that they don't realize what's all at stake. They're just focused on, oh my god, Mother finally opened for this girl.
Yeah.
And let's praise her name, even though we just rejected her her entire life.
Yeah,
it
made her so mad.
It would make me mad.
This is what makes the story so good.
That's why it's good.
But then what else makes the story good is you're exploring these old bunkers, and then you're learning about the old ones.
The audio files are actually good, too.
Yeah.
I love the audio files.
It's funny because, I feel like we, as the player, know more about the old ones than the the player does, like than the character does.
Yeah.
Because we live in the world with a whole bunch of technology.
Yeah, so like there's
And
a lot of
she
stuff
doesn't know
that
what a computer is.
Yeah, like she doesn't know a lot of stuff.
But we know what a computer is and stuff.
Yeah. And like they mention other stuff like
and so we're discovering like our world as if it was gone for like it's ancient now.
Yeah,
it's really interesting, just like that whole concept.
I think it's cool that it's weird. It's like it's like prehistoric times, Viking times, and our time all combined together.
Yeah,
like it's weird. Like they talk, the flashbacks, like the audio files. They talk like us. Like they talk about like emailing each other and stuff like that. And she doesn't understand any of that.
Yeah, but we do.
But we don't understand all the stuff she goes through. Like like why all like I don't know. It's hard to explain. I like it though. It's a great game.
So, we keep jumping back and forth because there's so much to talk about.
It's fine to jump. We're not going to go straight in a line all the way through.
Yeah, but because we kind of talked about this. Whenever this machine as a whole was hostile, because you know how it destroys life and then starts over. It can recreate itself. This thing also killed the very people that created it.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And so like it said, we have to. Everything is going wrong. We have to destroy and start over. And we went in that room with all those dead bodies.
That was an awesome room. Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts. The music was really good there too. Do you remember it?
And not only that, a lot of these people, like after these events, like a lot of these people were raised in a bunker.
Yeah,
and they had a robot mother.
Yeah, it was so crazy.
That's interesting too. Like,
and I like how like at first when they're kids, they're totally fine with having like robot mother and like everything's fine, and they just think that's their loving, caring, normal mom.
Yeah.
And then when they get older, they realize what their life is, and they're mad.
They don't know what outside looks like.
Yeah.
But whenever they run out of like resources, food and water and stuff, like I have to let you guys go, and like. Doesn't give them like any advice, like doesn't know.
Yeah, it just
like
they're supposed to go out there and just live.
And I think that's what started civilization again.
Yeah, it is.
It's those people got released out there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so like I don't know, it's just really interesting. Everything about this game, like
there's so much little stuff to it. Yeah. And honestly, I didn't fully understand all of it, but I think that kind of makes it better. Like there's some stuff that I didn't ever like. I was like, what does this audio file mean, and why are they showing it to me? Yeah, a lot of them were just like advertisements and stuff, and random conversations between random people. Yeah, like why did you tell me this? I enjoyed it, so I don't care. I'm just wondering why, and that just makes me wonder, like what. But yeah, I like it. Is there anything else that you want to go over? We still gotta go over the whole. Never mind. Just go ahead. Not only. We're learning about Aloy's story, and we're learning about the Old One's story, and the story of why there's machines. We're also learning about these different tribes and the conflicts they have with each other. Like, the Nora region, they have their blessed land, and then they're not really allowed to go west because they see it as cursed. Yeah. And then you got all these different, like, tribes and groups in like the Karja, and the Dark Lands, and like they want to control machines and take over the world. Yeah, and like almost like that's kind of like one of the big fights in the game. Like it doesn't have to do with Aloy or the Old Ones really. Like it's this group of like bandits that want to take control of machines. They find out how to override them. Yeah, and so like there's more story there. There's more story. They have them like tied up at their camps and stuff. Yeah. And so, like, that's a whole other aspect of the game, of like, the story. And then there's more personal, not I'm going to take over the world stories, where you're just trying to find a guy's sister, which is also awesome. The side missions. And that's not really just a side mission. That's, like, one of the main threads. Yeah. Like, it's actually one of the main missions. The main quest is to find this guy who I ended up really liking. You find his sister, and you find out she's not dead. And it's super good. Yeah, and the ending of just that side was cool. Yeah, and that's not even the end of the game. I like small personal stories like that. And there's the story of like the city of Meridian. Like it fell. It used to have a really bad sun king. Like, or I guess they call them sun gods and sun kings because that's their religion. Mm-hmm. But
they used like their father was the Sun King, and he was a terrible leader, like a dictator.
Yeah.
And he was ruthless, and then now he like the new Sun King killed his father to stop all this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like all these backstories of like, and like you're jumping around for all different timelines and all different.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. There's just so much to soak in.
Yeah.
In this game.
Yeah, there's so much different time periods too that you're soaking in like story threads. You're soaking in like story threads from different time periods, which is cool.
Like according to them, yeah. So there's different.
And finally, the ending. Like you kept asking me because I had beat the game already, and you were like, "Brett, how are they gonna make a sequel? Why do you keep saying that this is gonna be a franchise?"
Yeah,
and I was
here's
like,
the thing.
"You'll see."
I thought this game. It feels like this game the whole time is all about stopping the threat of machines.
Yeah.
Which you kind of do because of the Karja. You stop the Karja from controlling these machines and taking over.
And little do you know, you're working with the enemy the whole time.
Yeah.
The guy who's just trying to get what's his name back.
So I thought, hey, okay, so we defeat all the machines, we stop the threat of machines, and so now the world could go forward in peace.
Yeah.
Like, how is there going to be a sequel? Like, I was like, I don't even want there to be a sequel. I think this is a great standalone story.
Yeah, I totally wanted there to be a sequel. I didn't know what you're talking about.
But then this system, Gaia. I don't even know if Gaia is if the right word.
It's not Gaia. It's another one that I can't remember the name of.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
Hades. Yeah, Hades.
Yeah, and which is that's a whole nother story. Hades taught Silence everything about technology.
Yeah, which is crazy. It shows their first conversations in that room. I loved that. Like just listening.
And so Hades is going to live on through Silence because Silence is going to keep him alive because he knows technology.
Yeah.
So he's going to take Silence and put him in more technology.
And Silence is a villain. You were working with him the whole time.
And Hades is so smart because Hades is the whole operation.
Yeah.
And Hades knows how to recreate machines to whatever he needs them for. Yeah. Like he can create a machine. Like if you need it for this purpose, it creates it. Yeah. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and now, dude, I can't wait for the Horizon sequel. Like I cannot wait already. Which I think we're gonna get one Killzone game next year or the year after. I think E3 they announced like another Killzone game from Guerrilla, and then I think after that we're gonna get another Horizon game because they have two teams going right now.
Okay.
So I think they're gonna kind of switch back and forth, but I don't know if it's gonna be every year, every other year that we'll get a game, depending on how fast they go. Because both they got the engine down, so a sequel shouldn't be as hard, you know?
Yeah.
That's long.
I guess this isn't a story really. I guess we're just talking about Horizon. Yeah. But the engine is really like.
Oh my god! This is one of the best games ever. Like ever looked.
We played it before the day one patch.
Yeah.
Like we were just playing and I haven't encountered like a glitch.
I know it's an open world RPG.
The physics are great.
Yeah. Open world RPG with no glitches or bugs. Like that's unheard of. That's amazing. That's why Hideo Kojima is using this engine for Death Stranding because he was impressed. Like it's impressive. It's crazy.
So since we just talked about it for so long, like I realized just how much there is to soak in because of this game.
Yeah, and we
story wise and environment wise, and
we've been putting off like talking about it deeply because we knew we would have so much to say in this video.
Yeah, like each topic we've been talking about, we could talk about for so long, but there's just so much to it.
Yeah,
that's why this game is amazing and it's worth the money.
Definitely worth the money. I would have if I would have known what I was in for. Okay, so let's say Horizon 2 comes out. If I could pay $100 for it, I would. I'd be like, yes, $100.
If you could, or if you had to.
If I had to.
Okay. It sounds like you just want to give them money for free.
I wouldn't mind giving them money for free. They're great. That's a great game. Right. Yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn. You've had to have played it if you're here. If you haven't, we just spoiled the whole game for you, and I feel bad. But
so good.
That's it. We're done.
Yep.
All right. I'm Brett Medlock. He's Curtis Sleme. Sorry for the unfinished studio. Hopefully it gets better in the future. Get a green screen, cover it up, ugly. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.